Welcome to The Explainer. All right, today we're tackling one of the biggest ideas in all of science, the theory of evolution. This is the one concept that ties every single living thing on this planet together into one massive, incredible story.
When you look at an image like this, it kind of gets you thinking, right? It points to this huge fundamental mystery. And when you look at the world around us, one question just towers above all the others.
I mean, seriously, think about it. From the tiniest bacteria you can't even see, all the way up to the gigantic blue whale. Why? Why is there this mind-boggling variety of life? The answer isn't just some interesting fact. It's the grand, unifying theory for all of biology.
And that big idea? It's evolution. It's the process that explains how, over billions and billions of years, life on Earth has transformed from very simple beginnings into the millions of species we see today. It's what connects all of us in this vast, shared family tree.
Okay, so if evolution is the what, then how does it actually work? I mean, what's the mechanism, the engine that's driving all this incredible change? Well, that engine has a name: natural selection.
At its heart, natural selection is this really elegant four-step process. First, it all starts with variation. Just look around. No two individuals are exactly the same. Then, some of those variations give certain individuals a little bit of an edge, right? They're just better at surviving and having kids. Now, here's the crucial part. Those winning traits get passed down. You let that simple process run for, generations and generations, and those helpful traits start to spread, slowly reshaping the whole population.
And here's the thing you've got to get. Natural selection works on traits. Now, a trait can be something physical you can see, like the color of a moth's wings or how long a giraffe's neck is. But it can also be a behavior, like how a bird does its mating dance. It's this whole package of characteristics that really determines how well something is suited to its home. And this is where it gets really interesting, because whether a trait is an advantage depends completely on the environment. Picture this: an orange moth fluttering against some green leaves. For a bird, that's an easy lunch, right? But now, take that exact same moth and put it in a sandy, orange-colored desert. All of a sudden, that color isn't a liability. It's brilliant camouflage. It just goes to show you, no trait is inherently good or bad. It's all relative. You see this principle playing out absolutely everywhere. Different environments pose different challenges, so they end up selecting for totally different solutions. The long legs that are perfect for a gazelle running on the savannah, they'd be a complete disaster in the ocean. And those fins that make a fish so graceful in the water are, pretty useless on dry land.
Just look at a giraffe. That super long neck is an amazing adaptation for reaching leaves that no one else can get to, a trait perfectly shaped by its environment. Then you look at a fish, and its sleek, streamlined body is a completely different but just as perfect solution for cutting through water. Each one is basically a masterpiece of adaptation, sculpted by its surroundings.
Okay, but this brings up a huge question, doesn't it? If natural selection can only pick from the variations that are already there, how does anything truly new ever show up? Where does all this raw material for evolution even come from?
The answer, in a word: mutations. Genetic mutations. You can think of them as tiny little typos that sometimes happen when DNA is being copied. These random changes are the ultimate source of all new genetic traits. They create brand new possibilities that natural selection can then work with. Now here's the thing you have to remember about mutations. It's a lottery, a total lottery. The vast majority of them are either harmful or do absolutely nothing at all. But every once in a while, a random change turns out to be a winning ticket, a mutation that offers some tiny advantage, like slightly better eyesight or resistance to a disease. And these are the rare beneficial mutations that act as the fuel for evolution.
So we've got variation, selection, and mutation. But who was the brilliant mind who first put all of these incredible pieces of the puzzle together? Well, that brings us to one of the most famous names in all of science: Charles Darwin.
And this wasn't some aha moment in the bathtub. Darwin's theory was built on 30 years of meticulous, painstaking observation and research, from the Galapagos Islands to his own backyard. So when he finally published On the Origin of Species in 1859, it wasn't just another book. It was a bombshell that provided a mountain of evidence that completely changed how we see ourselves and our place in the natural world. So what's the big takeaway here? Evolution isn't just a theory. It is the absolute bedrock of modern biology. It's the lens that makes everything else, from genetics to ecology, finally make sense.
It tells us that every single living thing is a survivor, a descendant of an unbroken chain of life stretching back billions of years. And that leaves you with a pretty fascinating thought, doesn't it? As our world continues to change, where will evolution take life next?